We don't need that. Honestly, we never did it before. Like when we first started doing this shit, we just hit a button and went live. And that's kind of like what we should be doing.
That's right, man. When we're live, we're live.
Why did Drew just leave?
He's scared, man. He's scared. He saw that the video he didn't have his name in the title of the video, so he left. Because that's how he goes.
Carson's not here tonight. I'm gonna help Legend and Cat, and I gotta guess it's JD because we're doing this old school and it's no holds barred, DX style, and we're gonna live it. So I'm gonna hit that chat real quick because everybody knows where everybody's at. We're here. It's Friday night, and we've got Chris Barrett in the chat. We got Ricky Markstead. What's going on, Ricky? We also have the StreamYard Element robot. That's awesome.
Hi.
I got Ruben Guzman.
Ruben
is hanging out with us, and I'm sure there's going to be some people in there. But I want to talk about Funko right off the bat. Let's dive into that. That's why JD's here, because JD, guys, he's our financial guy. And if you guys don't know, fucking Funko is fucked.
Closing their doors.
The last letters in their title is KO. They're getting knocked the F out, right, JD?
Yeah, well, you got a situation going on where after 22 years in business, supply outdrew demand.
Yeah. I mean,
and their licensing fees, I mean, they literally were paying so much for licensing fees that they couldn't make it back. I mean, at $3 to $5 a piece, they couldn't make it. They couldn't do it. I mean, that would, whether it be the doubles, the jumbos, the big-headed ones. I mean, Funko's just started out. You had one of each character, and now you've got these are 3 Thanoses, and this is not even. This is about maybe 20% of the Thanoses out there. Licensing. If anyone wants to know how much licensing costs, it's a fortune. And if you pay for licensing with every single thing, and we're not even talking just comics. I mean, you go outside of comics, there's one of everybody, every athlete, every star, every musician, every political figure, everybody's got a Funko. You can get your own Funko. And the problem you have is that when they think people are going to buy 10,000 units of one, and then you put out a new one of the same character, kind of like you killed your own. I honestly think they bit off a lot more than they could chew by doing as many different. It's not. I don't mind the licensing as much as you didn't need. I mean, there's
50,000 Thanoses. It's like Chad was telling me earlier. Chad, isn't this kind of like comics in the 90s where they just start making too many?
It's comics in the 90s. It's Beanie Babies.
It's
it's Garbage Patch Doll. We're gonna be interactive tonight.
Cabbage Head Doll. Those Cabbage Head things.
Yeah,
Cabbage Patch Kids.
Oh God, those things were scary.
So Chris Barrett's in the chat. He says he's calling bullshit that Funko's gonna be back. I hope so, Chris. When your stock drops and is closing at $3.12, I don't think it's coming back, bro.
Yeah,
it would need somebody to bail it out and change it completely and say one per person, one figure. But who haven't they made yet? I mean, they still have a bunch on the line that are coming out. I saw today in a record shop. I went to go buy an album, vinyl, and they had 4 different. And I just use it as an example: 4 different Post Malone Funkos. I don't really know much about Post Malone, but I just know he's not worth 4 action figures, and that's what you have to go about. I mean, think about these as action figures. There's too many of them. You can't collect them all.
So this is a perfect segue in there because Potsy's in the chat, and if you didn't check out his Monday night chat stream, it was pretty cool. Had a lot of interesting people in there, and he says Funko is not going anywhere. Well, they already did, Potsy.
Yeah.
They are already done.
They went into the damn red, didn't they?
I mean, they already announced it. They haven't made it public. I mean, it's all over the stock. Funko is falling at 11% on a daily basis. Funko rose earlier this week 42 cents and closing price of $6.03 on a volume of 1.2 million shares. But analysts are already speculating, keyword speculating,
I know they like that one,
that there is no true rebound on this.
Yeah.
If you're spending more on your licensing than you are on your net profit,
Correct.
It's called a bad business model.
What happened to WCW when they had Kiss and all those other big deals? They spent too much on that razzle dazzle,
And we can
man, the bottom line.
We can always bring it back to wrestling. You can always bring it back. But Funko layoffs will cost about 250 jobs, and this was announced back in June. Their biggest issue that they had is when COVID struck, distribution was down. The main distribution, and there is nothing going overseas. So they are in a financial. I mean, JD, I'm gonna rely on you on this, but I would say it's less of a restructuring Chapter 11, but more of a fire sale.
It's I would compare it to what would be a good example recently? Think about what happened if you followed the market at all, what happened to Hewlett Packard when they changed CEOs. They didn't really declare Chapter 11. They just stopped doing everything but printers. They just went into they stopped putting everything else. They're probably they still have a whole line of stuff coming out in 2021 that is already in the works. I mean, I think this week they released The Boys. Because Elvis was the big one. Elvis was the one that everybody was waiting on, and they paid a fortune for three of those Funkos. And the Graceland Association, whatever they're called now, are crazy. But I don't know if we've seen something like this in the toy market since Kenner.
Yeah, or well, I mean, honestly, as most recent as the
Beanie Babies,
Beanie Babies,
yeah.
So,
My childhood.
Mark Spector Comics is asking, Funko isn't public though, is it? Yes, it is actually. It's a public traded company, so that's where the big issue is, and you know, if you're doing your research and looking to make profits on these, I mean, hey, you know what, those He-Men that Legend sold a couple years ago would probably be the ones that you should have hung on to for a little bit, brother.
Well, I sold the He-Mans, the original He-Man line. Now, keep in mind, that was a good rhyme, but I got those for about $7.99 when I pre-ordered them from mycomicshop.com in the pre-orders. And that original Volume 1 He-Man set was He-Man, She-Ra, Hordak, Skeletor, and Spikor. All of those figures are vaulted. You know, they did, and everyone was looking for the He-Man, everyone was looking for the Skeletor and She-Ra and all that. But so they came out with the Battle Armor version He-Man, Battle Armor Skeletor, but those weren't the original He-Man or Skeletor. I had those, and I sold that whole set of 5 for $710. My Rocky Balboa set, with Ivan Drago, Clubber Lang, Rocky, and Apollo Creed, I sold that for about $690. So I got it. I did a really good, Andy's been coaching me up on, selling stuff for good profit, and learning about selling and all that. And I made some damn good money, and I'm glad I got out while I did. I still have a lot more Funkos to sell, but they're not going to sell like my, the Rocky or the He-Man. And I think I may still have the Thundercats that will probably go for.
Those will, because I think there's going to be some announcements regarding that, because you got the He-Man movie coming out next year. They saw where they casted He-Man. And then you also have the Kevin Smith on Netflix. But I want to give everybody some of the actual statements. Oh, Kat left, but she'll be back.
She'll be back. She just got a little camera action.
One of the things I asked somebody to do when Chad told me we wanted to talk about this was their projected earnings is coming up, which is 9 cents a share, which would represent a decline of $76 and 76 or 70 over 75% in revenue drop, and they made 100 and
I got that here.
Revenues of like $170 million in revenues. Now, get rid of this. That's down 25%.
And
now, if you
that's
don't know what
prior
that's like to a company like this, their margins aren't 25%.
Yeah, that's prior year quarter though, JD.
Right. Yeah.
So if you're looking at a full year on the Zach's consensus estimator, I think it is. He just analysts are
the rank
expecting,
system.
yeah, they're expecting earnings of only 2 cents per 0.02
Yeah.
cents per share revenue of a 613 million. These totals would mark a change of a negative 97% respectively from last year. That's almost 100% loss year over year. Organizations can't. When your two flagship stores close,
yep,
I hate to say it, but guess what? It's time to go. And I'm afraid with all the recent events and with Jim Lee's statement back in 2 weeks ago, and the way DC is going, I'm not sure that this isn't going to be the same case, because DC has announced that they're going to be going more digital first.
Yep. Singles or digital, which is going to be, bringing it into more, hands as far as the digital side goes. And plus it gets rid of all that, other stuff where they had to pay, for printing and, the paper copies and all that kind of stuff. So, and, Chad, you're also talking to us about they want to start doing more, just going straight to the paperback and the hardback market as well through, what was it, Penguin or Random House, one of the publications.
The Scholastic,
great for the kiddos,
So I mean, if you look at it, they're doing it now, though. I mean, Kat, I believe you're reading Batman Adventures, correct?
Yes, when I do get my shipments in from Midtown, yes.
The thing is, with Batman Adventures, it's selling really well in both platforms. It's actually a digital first, which means people are reading that every week. Once they get to so many issues because they're smaller on the digital, it's just like the Injustice.
Yeah.
And
Injustice came out digitally first.
They've been doing this the last couple years, with a lot of like the Arkham Knight stuff that came out that tied into the video game. A lot of those were digital first. And like with their Rooster Teeth, like crossover stories, like Ruby and what is it, Gridlock? But both of those were digital first. I read them digitally months before the single issues came out. I'm a Ruby fan, so. But I mean, they've been doing digital for some time now. My big concern is them going solely digital.
Well, I think that's where you're gonna see the benefit. As a company, they're going to see the benefit as, hey, we're going to put this out digitally. I don't believe that they're going to go away from floppies, but I think the trend is going to be, you know what, instead of doing monthly floppy or every other week bi-weekly floppy of a Batman Adventures, let's wait till we comprise the whole book into a single trade. And then we're gonna focus on selling to the trade market. What does that do, JD? What does that do for the market itself from a standpoint of resale value, from eBay to auctions and whatnot like that?
Legend and I will tell you right now, trades are cheap. They're cheaper than the back of the price. The price on the back is $14.95 when it comes out. You wait a couple of weeks, it'll be $10. Wait a year, $5.
And what else is great, JD, is we saw it with the original Killing Joke. We've seen it with some of those trades. Trades do, Andy, I don't know if you have a copy of this, but the Saga Volume 1 trade, people can get that graded. They can get, some of these trades graded. So I still think I don't know. It's going to be kind of weird because the community, the comic book fans, they're going to have to adapt. I mean, if they don't adapt, they get left behind like Tim LaHaye and Jerry B. Jenkins. You know what I mean?
I mean, trades and hardcovers are selling to people like me because they're cheap. I mean, getting a $25 hardcover for $19, $15, $17, or in a used bookstore at half price books.
They're also really nice to put on your shelf. They're really easy to store in comparison to floppy as comics. And you don't have to really worry about them getting banged up in shipping.
Yeah.
They're pretty durable. A little off topic, but I actually want to address something in the chat real quick, just because this is kind of ridiculous. Chris, the reason why somebody with an HB printer can't just print the digital comic and sell it is that's called pirating. That's illegal. And
Chris
pretty
is
sure
a little younger.
For it.
He doesn't know about Napster.
That's illegal.
Oh, he doesn't know LimeWire too, man.
LimeWire, yeah, remember that?
LimeWire, Napster. Dude, even YouTube copyright claims.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah, we do know about that. So like, I don't want to keep on hitting on all some like negative topics, but I do have another negative topic that I kind of want to talk about. And if you guys don't mind, I'm going to share my my screen with you guys because this is something that I firsthand have experienced with my dealings with Mainframe Comic Con. I don't know if you guys had gotten a chance to read this, but on Bleeding Cool, Jason Fabak apologizes for comic shop charging $50 to sign 3 Jokers. So the 3 Joker artists, Jason Fabak, attended a signing in Woodbridge Heroes in Woodbridge, Ontario for Batman, the 3 Jokers. He's touring with a number of comic book shops through his company that he is represented by, which is Comic Sketch Art. Comic Sketch Art, what they are is they're an agency that sets up signings and conventions, and they represent a lot of people. There was a $50 minimum charge for signing, and Jason didn't seem to know about that situation. He was pretty upset.
Being dirty.
He was pretty upset and adamant in the video. The video that he posted was on his Instagram, but thus has been taken down. I can read you the excerpts of it. I just learned that the store here was upcharging you guys an insane amount of money for a signature, and that is not what I'm about. I originally asked ... I just wanted $10. Go 2 to for free and 10 after that. I learned that these guys are charging way too much money. So if you were charged the money to do it, that you came out here and paid the full price with these guys are charging. Come back. I'm going to stay until Cyber books that you have. If you pay the full price, I'll do 5 books for free. So come on. I'm sorry. Like I just learned about this stuff and I see you guys are angry and I disagree with what they've done. Totally disagree that's not who I am. If you come back out, email Mandy at comicsketchart.com and ask her about the little deal that they are doing. And you guys can either mail in the book and they'll pay for postage to their signing later on, or they'll maybe hook you up with a deal or so. So I'm a little confused by this, and the reason I'm confused by this is if you have gone to a convention and you stood in line for like a Tom King or Scott Snyder, who is all represented by Comic Sketch Art, you're more than likely going to be paying that same amount. I'm not sure why Jay.
I won't go. I won't get him anymore.
Oh no, absolutely. I get what you're saying, but I'm not sure why he wouldn't be aware of that if that's what they've been doing for the past couple of years yet. And then you have some really cool artists who are represented by him. Listen, it's not the artist's fault. Some artists know what they're being charged, because a percentage of it is taken by the person for supplying them the trades, getting the booking. The convention centers themselves pay for these people to fly in, and so it's really a cash cow for somebody to set up to represent artists. And
like comic
not
sketch
so
art.
much
How much are they? How much is this comic sketch art, man? They're taking a bunch off the top. It sounds like, Chad.
I'm not sure, man.
Say,
that's not my business.
In defense of comic sketch art, just to play a little bit of devil's advocate here, I've bought quite a bit from comic sketch art before.
Oh, yeah.
They've been able to get me certain artists, certain works that I couldn't get. Like, for example, Mirka Adolfo. I've tried for the last couple of years to get something from her or to meet her in person. Every single convention, for some reason, something happens. There was an issue with her visa at one point in time. There was a really bad storm that came out. Any number of times, it's like either I don't make it to the con or she doesn't make it to the con. Mm-hmm. But I was able to get a Starfire done by her through comic sketch art last year, and I love it. I think it's fantastic. I've also gotten some really
you got
fabulous
art.
Yeah.
You got art. Okay, so
I got art done by her.
Here's where a lot of people may have a misconception, and I did too.
Facilitated it.
The facilitator is actually comic Essential Sequential. Yeah. Essential Sequential is were partners. I don't know what the relationship is as of today, but with comic sketch art. There's two different people that run these organizations. One of them being, I don't know what his name is, the guy that owns Comic Sketch Art. Comic Sketch Art, though, focuses primarily on the signature series. If you're buying from them an art, it is actually coming through Essential Sequential.
Okay.
I was also going to say one of the more like noteworthy issues that I got from them was the Deceased One Matina cover.
Damn.
I got that, and I got it signed by the whole creative team behind that.
Damn, and I like the sound of that.
That's one of my babies. Mm-hmm. But it's Matina and the whole crew has it signed. It's gorgeous. CGC 9.8, golden label. Gold. It's gorgeous. But that's not something that you could just randomly. I mean, that's going to be a lot of legwork for me to go to this con, go to that con, have a CGC person come with me from this table, crack the slab open with them, and then get it signed here and there and all over the place. That's a lot of legwork for me.
I just hope Matina and Tom Taylor are getting some of that cut. You know, I hope the people like Comic Sketch Art aren't like screwing their the writers and the artists. That they really need to be upfront. They need to be transparent. And hopefully with Jason Fabach, apologizing like that, like me and Chad and everyone know, we don't know if Fabach knew any of that was going on, or if he's just playing dumb.
They're advertising it right now though on their page for the same amount. So a little less.
Wow, a little less.
It's very in your face. Like, this is the price. Even on their Facebook, it'll show you like, these are your prices. This is for this signature. This is for that. This is for raw. This is for graded. It's all very straightforward.
Wouldn't you prefer to be able to know that the money's going to that creator?
I'm sure he's getting a cut.
No, but I mean, honestly, it takes it's the creator who comes up with the idea, and this is just my opinion. And Kat, it's completely my opinion. I apologize.
No.
My thoughts are, if an individual is putting their heart and soul into a project and they're signing, and you take a book to them, and you own the book, right? You've purchased it already. And the guy wants to charge you $10, $5 for a signature, $10 for a signature, but you're paying $30. And there's some of those guys that won't sign your book now, that they will only sign the trades that they have there. And what percentage of that is going to that artist? There are, and this boils down to my opinion, it really is on the whole.
The flipping community, you think?
No, 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 no. No, not at all. Nothing like that. It's the Stan Lee model, you know.
Oh, you got it. And the Neil Adams model, right?
And you're rolling these guys out there, and you know, I hate to say it, it's just, to some degree, I think it's not the best. It's not the best model. I wish that the creators. I'm a purist. I think that the creators should be getting the money 100%. I believe the creators and a lot of creators that are with, say, like an agency like Comic Sketch Art, they donate their portion of their money to. They don't need it, right? So they would rather donate their portion to a charity. There are creators though that will tell you, I'm not going to charge for a signature. And we've been talking a lot with a lot of the conventions and a lot of creators and some of these people. And one thing that I'm recently hearing a lot more say is like they miss the interaction with the fans at the conventions. Exactly. So where it has become more, it is not a convention. It is more of a
cash cow.
Trade show. Yeah, it's very commercial. I mean, when the guys started San Diego, let's face it, it's three guys that started it, and it was in a, it was a dump, but
the hotel room.
Yeah.
Yeah. The big
not
lobby
a ballroom, not a ballroom, a room.
Just a room, yeah.
A room.
What I love, yeah.
And those guys that were out there weren't getting paid. So I know I've seen some videos, I've heard some rumblings. I guess Andy told me the other day about some things, and people get upset that we were being so supportive of Heroes Initiative, right?
Oh, someone's getting mad at that.
They were upset that we were. It was almost like it was an infomercial, right? Well, guys, listen. If you know some of these people personally and understand how it is affecting them, I think your opinions would change. But if your opinions don't, then you're a piece of shit.
Yeah. I totally agree. Meeting Joe Staten, meeting Jerry Ordway, talking about Denny O'Neil, of course, when he passed away. These are all people that, do what they do for the love of the game. They're not trying, they'll sign your stuff for free. I mean, Jerry Ordway, I had the first printing of Power Shazam Volume 1 that came in hardcover, that only came in hardcover. Man, I talked to him so much about it, and he was drawing me a sketch of Captain Marvel on the front page. I told him, your Egyptian stuff in here where you had the Black Adam character look just like freaking Boris Karloff. And, we talked about Pulp, and we talked about all kinds of stuff as he was sketching this kick-ass Captain Marvel. And that's what Chad means, and JD and Cat mean. It's like when you meet these people, They're flesh, their blood. They don't mean to. That guy didn't draw that damn sketch of Captain Marvel for me to put that fucking thing on eBay and flip it and sell it and all that bullshit. He took the time to tell me, every time I see one of these, these are these first prints, I always do a sketch because you're the kind of fan that I'm here for.
Artists and creators prefer if they ask, would you like it personalized? They prefer to sign personalized articles.
And they say the great legend on every piece I have.
So, and the reason I'm saying this, like, I got to meet Oming and Taki and Michael Avon Oming and his wife Taki, and she's a younger lady and great artist. She suffered from MS, and Hero actually helped her on her, because these guys don't have it. But hey, everybody's entitled to their opinions. Opinions are like asshole. Everybody has one. So we're gonna move on to the next subject.
Some people, hey Chad, real quick before we get to the subject, we'd rather take any money that comes to this channel and give back to the Hero Initiative, because if it wasn't for like a group like that, or these artists or these writers, if they weren't around to do what they do, we wouldn't have a channel called the Comic Core. We're not in it to make money or, monetize or any of that. We do all that, but it goes to a good cause. So that's what
you bring up a good point, man. We don't monetize any of our videos anymore.
Yeah,
there's no need to. Who cares?
Simpler.
Yeah, so it's just a lot easier. And again, it's about being family. They want to talk community and talk about this other stuff, but is it really? Are they doing that? So I mean, I got a big JD, I'm going to get to you in 2 seconds, but I do want to shout out the chat because Carson would be kicking my ass because that's where it's at.
That's where it's at, man.
Potsy says, dude, that was crazy. That shop did for buck 30. Yeah, I get it. Thunderhouse Design says, hey, all, just hello. We also got Ricky and Chris are still in there. Hey, K Titus, hello from Japan. Yeah, Thunderhouse Design says SDCC just became a thing because fans were going to Kirby's house, so they moved it to a hotel room instead of people showing up at his doorstep. LOL. Potsy still says Viva la Comic Corps. Yep, and you know what? I need a filibuster because I feel like I've been doing it.
We got somebody lurking in the chat.
Oh, we got Perry's Comics is out there. What's going on, Perry? And then also we've got Drew Manchu.
Yeah, there's a cat head where Mark used to eat. There's some sort of baby-faced guy hanging out in the dark up there.
Drew, awesome
He's probably thinking about
night,
dailies. What's that?
Awesome show last night.
Oh, yeah, man. If I can get some people on to just yap at me, and I got the two right guys to come on and yap at me. So it was a good time filling in for Andy. He's got to watch out. His spot is in jeopardy. We're gonna have a rock, paper, scissors battle for the Thursday night slot.
Rochambeau Thursdays.
Well, we got to do that in person so I can kick him in the nuts when he loses.
Legend, Cat, I got to go get a glass of water because it is Sober September.
Yeah.
And Kat and I have taken the oath of not drinking and telling each other bedtime stories. I told her one the other night, and I got through half a sentence, and she went to sleep.
I fell asleep.
Now, mind you, Kat's not drinking, and Mark's not here. We can only guess what happened.
He's probably dead.
Mark, come here. Come here.
Where'd Chad go?
Come here.
He had to go get something to drink, but man, I tell you, JD, you were gonna say something, man. What you got? What are you thinking about?
About the most I've ever paid for a signature in person. And Kat's right. I did take a book that I had signed by half of the team, and then I had the other half had to have it cracked open, carried over in 2 days at a con, and then in a bag, and then another con the week later to finish it off. I only paid $20 for, and it was Tyler Kirkman. I paid $20 for Tyler Kirkman and $20 for Lucio Perillo. Again, that doesn't include the CGC slab and everything else. But that's it. I mean, I could never. Buying one is different. Buying an already signed by a deceased person or something else that you really want and you pay a little premium, that's fine. But in an in-person, the bad taste in my mouth is. And no offense to him, but he's not worth $50 a signature. Neither is
Tom. Talking about Neil Adams.
Yeah, well, I have pictures, but we're gonna move on.
Neil may justify it in the fact that he's probably the, to be honest, he is the living legend. No offense. Of comics currently. I mean, he's the biggest name alive today. We've had a bunch pass. And he's
the problem with Neil is he's not as big as he thinks he is. He's huge, but he's not as big as he thinks he is.
He's huge, but let's put it this way:
he's giant, man. He thinks he's Galactus. Like, get it together, there, Chief.
Room with George Perez. Who would you rather?
I'm sorry, who?
Have?
Oh shit!
Don't you dare say Drew. Okay, two living legends: Neil Adams and George Perez. George Perez. Every time I have met him, is nothing more than a freaking sweetheart.
Oh yeah, personality-wise, George wins.
I've met Neil Adams, and he was not very pleasant to anyone in his line.
He's up and down.
His art's gorgeous.
Yeah, he has his moments, pre-Chinese food, post-Chinese food. But the one thing is that the bed of work the body of work of Neil Adams, and no offense to George Perez, I'm a big George Perez fan. The body of work of Neil Adams trumps or destroys anybody today. That's a lot today, just because of it's Neil Adams. I mean, we can go whether you're Marvel or DC, it doesn't matter. Neil did something, you know, and so that's Neil. But he might be the one that $50. I know. I'll tell you what, I paid $30. I paid $20 for Steranko and that was more fun for me. You know, but paying Steranko, I paid his assistant just because I was getting it slabbed. But he was really cool. He signed 2 for $20. Scotty Young says, if you give me $5, I'll sign every book you got. And I $5 for the Hero Initiative, actually it was. And I handed him, I said, how many can you do? He goes, I got no line. So why don't you, this was a couple of years ago. So I had all the Star Warses he did, all the Infinity we did, and a bunch of other ones he did, all signed by him. I'm just talking to him. And I asked him about charging for autographs. I said, you know, you're one of those people that could probably get 20.
Time out.
Said he goes, I won't do it.
When somebody comes in this
world,
Yeah.
sorry,
Chad, check the gain on your mic there, Chief.
Oh, sorry. Why is it
Barking
high?
at us a little
we
bit there.
do got Bob World in the house, man.
Yeah.
Is that better?
You just shattered Bob World's ears, man.
Tell me, is this good or bad?
It's better.
Hey,
Better.
did anybody get the new Avengers game for PS4 and all that stuff? That was a big release.
Not yet, man. Not yet.
I'm thinking.
Well, let me
my
shout out
friend
the
is
chat
messing with it,
because
though.
we got Bob World in here. I see Perry Comics still hanging out. Ricky Markstead's with us. Drew
Oh
is
man,
still
Lion Den in the chat, bro.
Lion Den
Lion
is in the
Den.
chat. Chris, I will pay you for that. What?
All right.
Yeah, what the hell?
Chris,
What was
take
that?
it
Always
take it
a
if you can get
pleasure
it.
to have Lion Den
Oh
around.
my god!
Always a pleasure.
People do forget what. I'm sorry.
No, this is the true thing. Neil was
People
like,
do forget how much Neil was responsible for earning creators more creator rights in the 70s and early 80s. No one talks about it anymore. That is 100%. But it's a big.
He's like the Kevin Nash of comic book creators. Doesn't mean that half of what he does is an absolute garbage just because he helped everybody out.
I mean,
Neil's great, man. His art is fantastic, but the guy has some ego issues that prevent him from being more profitable. I think if he dropped his prices 15%, he'd make 2 times as much money as he currently does.
but
I
now
mean,
we're
there's-
seeing people charge
I have-
$30 to $50 that aren't even in anywhere near the content.
Right. And I don't think that helps the creators nearly as much as it hurts the fans.
Right. Good point. The great point.
I mean, I'm paying $80 a day to be at a con. You're going to try to get me for $80 to write something down and it's your name? Like, come on, man,
Yeah.
figure that out.
Yeah, there are,
That's why I like these online cons. They're free.
I
It's
know,
true.
right?
and you get great deals on art and great
Neil
deals on
Adams doesn't
everything.
show up.
No, he tries. But one of I wanted to ask Drew this question because he's somebody who has stood in line with me successfully or unsuccessfully for getting it signed books. Could you imagine paying $30 or to $50 for 3 Jokers?
No, I can't. I think there's a lot of problems with the current collector market, and especially with signatures and slabs and things of that nature. But I'll tell you this much right now: is you go on eBay, right? Find a 9.8, and then find a 9.8 gold label, and tell me if it's a $30 difference. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not. It's not a $30 difference in value. It's certainly. $10. You're gonna give me a $10 premium because you stood in line and got it signed. Cool, but it's not a $30 premium.
When I asked Walt Simonson to sign this book, right, and it was already slabbed. This is one of my slab ones. It was the first work he did on Thor, first cover work, first work he ever did on Thor. He said, "No, I don't want to crack open your pristine book and get my greasy hands all over it." So instead, he drew me. It's over there. I'm not going to grab it. He drew me a sketch on one for nothing.
Damn.
The blank cover drew a sketch, which I was like, okay, I'll do it.
Right.
And it didn't take him long. I'm not saying it was an in-depth. It wasn't like the Ron Lim I had done for $25, but just really quick. He did it. And he said, He goes, I don't like it when people have these and they open, and he doesn't even care for it whatsoever. He doesn't have a say in it whatsoever. But he just said, and other people in line like, yeah, this is an old book from the 70s. It's a 9/8 white pages, but I've had it for, and I like that. I tell that story. I brought it to Baltimore again to ask him again this time, and he says, I'm still not, and I just said, I'm not going to have you sign it. He signed another one for me. So
I just think that when I go to a con and I meet
didn't get it.
I'm in for an experience, not there to add value to my collection. Like there are some creators that I want to sign my book and I want to get it slabbed. That has everything to do with me being a fan of that creator and being a collector. Like I have a couple of Tomasi and Nguyen signatures on Super Sons variant covers, and that to me is more about my collection. I'm not selling those, so I'm not looking to add value more than the intrinsic value of commemorating the fact that I talk to these creators and I spend time with them. Like I think that my favorite experiences at a con would be like the first Baltimore we went to when we got Snyder and Capullo to do a shout out for Jared. Yeah. That was super cool because it was personal. It was a connection point. I think at that same con, we met Dan Slott, and just hearing Dan Slott share stories with people while he was signing books had more value to it than all the books he signed for me that he didn't charge me more than $1 in the bucket for the Hero Initiative for. Mm-hmm. Meeting Matthew Rosenberg a couple years ago when he had, We Can Never Go Home and 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank were the only things that he was working on. He didn't have a Marvel contract at that point. Talking to him about his creative process, that was important to me. Meeting Donnie Cates when we went down to Fan Expo in Dallas before he was anybody. God Country was the only thing he had out. So it was cool meeting him and talking to him about that. Meeting Brent Peoples and talking to him about his work on New Superman, hunting down Peter J. Tomasi at every con and bugging him about when Super Sons is coming back and when he's just gonna assassinate Bendis and take his place back at the head of the Superman table. These are the kind of things that I like to talk to creators about.
You prefer those moments, you prefer those moments, the more intimate moments where maybe some prefer the moments where like they don't want to talk, they just want you to sign stuff so they can slab it and flip it on eBay.
And they know, and the artists know this when you show up at their booth and you show them a certain book. Like I'll tell a Steranko and Perez story. I collect my favorite artists that are alive, if I can get them, their first work signed by them, right? So here's an example of George Perez's first work he ever did for Marvel. And I brought it to him and I handed it to him and I said, I've had this book. I know it's your first. And he told me, he goes, wow, this is my first work. I've never had anybody bring this to me. Wow, this is great. And this story he told was great. And I do have the one signed on the census. And then Steranko, he signs this all the time, and he tells a story. I have to sign it over here because Stan put all this crap all over the book. He would like to. So that's not what he said. But I like how CGC recognizes Jim Steranko's first work for Marvel. By the way, he was working on pulps for years. But there you go, and that's what I collect is their first works or something crazy like that. Now that is something where this doesn't. I mean, it might add value to a 8.5 book from the 1966, but that's one of the things I collect. I think that's if you're getting signatures, if you get them for what you think is your own personal, your PC, the pride is there. If you're doing it for monetary value, they know every time. I mean, Drew, I think you were with me when Lucio Perillo's girlfriend said it was Yumi and JJB said flat out, goes, I don't like these people who come over here and ask them to sign these books. And I said, well, I got this one signed. I want to get it slabbed because it's great. Can you put it to me? And she's like, that's fine. That's one. She says, all these people are just trying to make money on her boyfriend or her husband. Our answer was, yeah, that's what they're doing. But you're also charging 20 per. Right. Yep. I mean, six of one, half a dozen of another.
Charging 20 per and didn't pay for your flight in and aren't paying for your hotel room.
However, Clayton Crane said, I expect people, if they want to make money in this stuff, I could care less. But he always sat and talks afterwards. He was really early, and he talked. He was telling me stories. He told stories about somebody coming over to him, and we were talking about this exact situation. He goes, a guy brought over 20 of the same book, and he's like, are you that big of a fan of the book? Or he goes, no, I'm a dealer. And he's like, all right, 20 a piece. I mean, they know the difference. And I kind of think they know the difference. We know the difference. But the signing companies that are setting these things up don't get it.
But you know who gets it though, JD? It's at chat. Bob World in the chat says put a memory on a price on a memory. We got the comic book G Spot. Mr. Galman is in there. He says hello, gang. Thunderhouse Designs spent a couple hours talking to Darwin Cook one year.
Good for you, man.
And it's one of my best memories.
Wow.
I like the comment right above that too, Chad. Thunderhouse says Tomasi is
he is
great.
Oh God, he was.
You remember when he was digging through books at our booth in Baltimore?
Yeah, remember what I said?
And shit, that was fantastic.
I said like this. I said, "Where's Tomasi? We got Peter Tomasi up next, and Tomasi's over there digging through the books."
We told this story 100 times. What was he going to do with those books?
He's going to leave them on the train.
He's going to leave them on the subway so somebody else could read it. William Bird says getting Claremont to sign a book is an awesome experience. He
talks forever.
Yep.
But William Bird, that's great. Chris Claremont is one of those guys that he's like Storenko. You know, you have to set 20 minutes aside for the conversation, especially if you have a pretty girl near you.
Yeah. And you know what? I think that these creators, and you know, especially when you meet a celebrity as well, they're just like us, man. Real recognizes real, and they know when you're a fan. They know when you appreciate what they do and you're not there. You know, celebrities got to worry about autograph hounds at the airport, but they run into a kid who's a real fan and they're going to stop and they're going to talk to him. Like I met Jake the Snake Roberts at a local wrestling event right before he went into the Hall of Fame. He had been announced, but he wasn't inducted yet. And like anybody who knows my love for wrestling knows my love for Jake the Snake Roberts knows no bounds.
Jake the Snake, man.
You know, I'm talking to this guy about, you know, all you know, his career and how he made The Undertaker. And he just pulls me and gives me a hug, whispers in my ears. They all forget that shit, brother. And then gives me a free fucking t-shirt. When have you known, you know, a Carney Con man to give anything away for free? But letting that man know what a big part of my life and my fandom was supported by his performances. He couldn't have been more tickled at the fact that I was so happy to meet him, and it gave me a free t-shirt, man.
You tickled his snake, man.
Look, if I could have tickled his snake, I might have got more than a t-shirt.
If you guys remember what Legend, do you remember what Howard Chaykin said to us when we were bringing him over? He goes, I'm here to talk to the fans. I'm home. I work. I'm done. I'm retired. I do this only to talk to my fans because I appreciate my fans. And I told him, I said, look, I read American Flag. I read this. I love the work. And, you know, we were talking for a while and had some kind of a previous relationship, him and I, and laughing. And he said, he goes, I come here to talk to people, idiots like you. He said, idiots like you that love my shit. You know, it's word
Howard
for word.
Chaykin, and he's a real great guy with Hero Initiative too. I mean, he's got done Q&A panels on there. He's going to be on the new talenttalklive.com. Make sure y'all check out talenttalklive.com. That's a big time thing where they're
got new work coming out from the Ear Text as well.
A lot of great stuff. Howard Chaykin, one of the best, man. He did that awesome Buck Rogers comic I like too.
Yep.
So
good Punisher too.
If you guys don't mind, I wanna address one other thing, if that's cool, right?
Go for it.
What's your address, Chad?
Your show.
So a couple of things that I want to kind of talk about real quick is I'm going to pull a Perry gimmick here in a second. I'm going to share my screen. I earlier Drew said something about 9.8 signed versus 9.9. He's absolutely right. There's no difference in pricing. So that's a joke if you guys are doing that. Hey, you spend your money where you want to spend your money, though. I'm not one to tell you, and I'm not too big for my britches. I'm gonna throw a poll.
My sign book's not slabbed.
I want to throw a poll,
Nice.
a poll out to the chat right now.
Chad
and
loves
ask,
polls.
Bill Dundee.
Who is one of the on the Comic Core or on
Judy Bagwell on that poll?
Who is one of the nicest, kindest people that in the community?
Well, I'd have to say Bob World. I mean,
no, I said somebody that does a show on this channel.
On this channel.
Is it Andy?
Andy,
God, it's got to be Andy. He's so nice.
He's
nice.
Andy.
Well,
I gotta go, Andy.
I kind of want to vote for Andy and Carson at the same time. Since
Carson won. There we go. Who else?
Sorry, Andy.
I look at Andy as being like Carson is Andy's mentor. Carson is Andy's mentor. Andy learned all he knows from Carson. Carson learned all he's known from me.
John's Comics and Kids.
John's great.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. You know,
I like the way you said that.
So
he's okay. You know,
okay, everybody preaches community and talking positive and bringing positivity around, right?
Yeah, I hate that shit, man.
I want to touch on something that I saw this week that hurt some people's feelings, may have been, but I actually kind of find it humorous because there's a show that goes on at the same time as ours. If you guys haven't had a chance, go out and sub up Comic Head 84. They do a great show called The Power Hour. It's where a bunch of grown-ass men dress up and pretend they're wrestlers.
JD do that shit.
JD's laughing because that's Ric Flair up there. You got you're making fun of my golden guy. What the fuck, man?
So, but there is one of them, Biggie's on there. It's kind of cute. And Biggie recently made a video about the Comic Core and shouting it out. But if you watch the video long enough, he also does a really cool take on his opinion on women, which is nice. It's really cool. It's a positive one. And then he also does a little shout out to, I'll call spade a spade. Legend made a comment asking them if he reads his book or he just flips them. And then he said that he has the true bangers. And so there's that. But
Banger's just another fucking rip-off name of Big Boy books. But Big Boy books, those are those three-figure books. 3 figures, man.
What really made me kind of made me laugh is he called John he made a video called the saltiest comic book channels top 5.
Mm-hmm.
And
he called them salty because they read books.
No, it's his opinion.
White Whale is kind of salty. He's from the ocean.
Yeah, but
White Whale's funny though.
Oh yeah,
I loves me some White Whale.
But then he also threw a ton of shade at John's Comics with kids.
Why are we addressing this, Chad?
I had to.
We want to swap bugs. We can swap bugs all day. I mean,
because here's the problem that I have. Everybody wants to act tough and say stuff, but when they get called out of it, they don't say shit.
It's called keyboard pussies.
Folds like lawn chairs.
Hippies collectibles used to call them keyboard pussies.
Look. I'm gonna play mom right now for a hot second. I'm gonna tell you exactly what my mom used to always tell me. Now, if you don't like someone, that's fine. You don't want to play with them, that's fine. But if you see them out in public, you smile. You ask them if they're having a nice day. You tell them, oh, hey, whatever, But you keep all that negativity. You keep all that kind of like, oh, I don't really like you to yourself. So I look at it this way. Everyone stays in their own lane. Everyone stays away from it. We've all had beef with someone at some point. I know, even I've had beef in the community. That's why I stay away from a few people. When it comes down to it, I am here from my saw. I'm here to talk to my group of randoms, which quite a few of them are on here.
I love you, Kat. I'm going to grab a soda and I'll be back to shoot, okay?
Oh my gosh.
The other sad thing about it is they also said the worst channel on the thing was Bear Island. And
what?
I just say
him singing?
It
That
takes
was fantastic.
it takes a lot of balls to turn on a camera and get in front of it and talk.
I like Carson and Bear Island. I like Carson and Andy better than Bear Island.
But it takes a lot of balls.
You're
to
just
do
saying
it.
it because you think it's
My
funny.
opinion is don't if you're gonna try to stay clean, stay out of the mud, and don't do that. I mean, that's if you're preaching community, stay upbeat and don't throw shade at people. JD.
Well,
Besides, the only person else allowed to throw shade at Carson is me.
yeah, the way I feel about it is
We're Hoosiers.
everybody's got their own niche and what they do. I focus on Golden Guys, you know, Legends Got Legends, Truth. We all have our own little individual thing. We might not adhere to everybody, and we okay with reviews and people giving us thumbs down, all that stuff, and everything's fine. But the saltiness that Chad's bringing up is maybe it's a form of, you know, jealousy or whatnot. I don't know what it is, but it's unnecessary to attack another channel
Or another individual. It's kind of sad.
or another individual. If you don't like them, that's fine, and you could let your opinion know, and that's fine. But you don't know them; you just watch their show. So if you don't like the show, like I tell people on who don't like shows on TV, you can turn the channel. You can turn the channel, but to sit there and say, "Oh, I watch this thing every week and it's terrible," well, then you just is your own fault.
Don't watch it.
Yeah, I mean,
but don't criticize individuals. I mean, it takes a lot of guts.
Constructive criticism is encouraged, in my opinion. I mean,
but it takes guts to actually do it. Don't you agree?
Yeah, but don't bash people because they read books, man. Because that's what these comic book creators. That's why they're getting paid. They're getting paid to write their stories. They're getting paid to create their art, so the consumers will buy these things to read and to enjoy the art. And if you don't want to read them, that's fine. But I mean, like, don't bash people that like to read. I mean, hell, if you don't know how to read, you're not going to get very far in this life. And what kind of example are you setting for your own children? You want your children to read books. That's all I got to say. You know?
Yeah, I mean, we could have. Do we address it this way? Yep. I think we're addressing it the right way when we say here are 5 individuals here. All have had their own channels. All have been doing, I consider, some great work. You know, I actually enjoy watching a lot of the other content on this channel. Most of the time I watch it on the TV or the Facebook. But when I hear that something was going on with somebody bashing John's Comics with Kids or somebody else like that, I just don't, or their content, turn the channel. There's no saltiness necessary, you know. You know, it's not necessary.
Drew,
look, you know,
Drew hurt someone in Red Dead, and the guy called him.
I'm salty to begin with. So, you know, we do the show on Tuesdays. It's a great show.
By the way, I'm going to be on that show this coming Tuesday on Golden Guys because I have 4 hot slabs from Comic Link, and I'm going to try to get those fucking stickers off.
We got some Mary Marvel coming.
Well, we got some damn Mr. Mind. He's going to be making an appearance, and so is Talkie Tawny.
I've seen
that. Tawny, nice. Yeah. So, Chad,
I got something to say about this whole drama before we move on. All right.
Okay.
I'm cocked back and I'm ready to shoot. All right.
I
don't have issues.
All right.
I don't have issues if you got an opinion and you want to voice your opinion. That's what your channel is for. Use it to the best of your ability, right? I don't got beef with anybody in this community because if I do got beef with you, I don't fuck with you. All right.
Yes.
So I'm not going to be in your chat. I'm not going to be talking to you in other people's chats, and I'm not going to be shouting you out. All right. Well, if you're in our chat, it's just the way it's going to be. All right. That's the deal, which means that, hey, if I haven't ignored you, then I ain't got a problem with you. Okay. What I do have a problem with is that we can't just let things go. All right. I'm going to say this right now. All right. I'm going to shout him out right now with a little bit of a call out. Biggie Shaq. All right. You say what you want to say, and I get it. You want to be salty about some things that have been said about you. I get it. I don't have a problem with that. All right. I don't have a problem with you running down John on your channel. Even if that's what it was, I'm not going to watch it. It's cool. I don't care, man. The guy is a provocateur. All right. There's no other way to say it, right? He's trying to get attention and he's doing it. So stop feeding the beast. All right. You know, if you want to buy, you know, or be gifted 12-cent comics and smoke a cigarette into them, that's your business, right? It's not my book, right? So I'm not going to judge you on that. And a lot of people want to throw shade at him for that. And a lot of people want to throw shade at him for different reasons. And I'm here to say right now, dude, just don't come at my fam. Like, if you're going to come at my fam, like there's going to be an issue and we're just going to ignore it. Right. And it's going to go away. Because I mean, I don't have any fucking problems. I ain't got no problems, right? I'm here to have a good time, and if I'm not having a good time, I ain't gonna be doing it no more, right? I'm here. Yep. If I'm in somebody else's chat watching their show, I'm doing it to have a good time, and if I don't have a good time, I'm not gonna be doing it anymore. All right. So if there's going to be some sort of shade and some sort of beef and some sort of nonsense being thrown back and forth, I want no part of it. And that's all I'm going to say right there. Like, so let's just have a good fucking time. Respect people for the way they collect, whether they read or they don't, whether they're speculators or not, whether it's just cover buys, whether they buy quarter bin books and try to flip them for $5. Like, whatever you're doing, man, as long as you're going to be cool, as long as you're going to show up when we got events going on, as long as you're going to throw some love for the Hero Initiative every once in a while, as long as we're all going to be excited and have a good time together, I got no problem with that shit at all. Okay. But just like why are we making lists where we're calling people out? I'm not about that shit. I'm not. So I won't be watching it, but at the same time, I really couldn't be bothered with worrying about what somebody's got to say about me on the internet. You don't know me. So
I've been wanting to see your reviews again, and I was very happy to see that again. I'm throwing
we do some stuff every once in a while.
I'm throwing shady.
Oh, and here, hey, Drew, since
my favorite thing is your reviews.
Since we were shooting, can I shoot on me?
Yeah.
I hear that you shoot all over yourself at the end of every session, but that's neither here nor there.
So at the end of the day, I will tell you this. I've said this in the past. I am not going to send you anything because it takes too much effort. I have the shit piled up. If you want it, send me something, and I send me like an envelope, and I'll send it out. But I am really terrible at that because I just forget, and I'm too busy. So I am awful. I will apologize right now. If you want something, you're gonna have to either send me a self-addressed stamp and envelope because I writing stuff down and going to the post office is just a pain in the ass. So that's on me, 100%. Yeah, and what Drew just went off and said is absolutely on point. Yeah, guys, it sucks and the only thing I was trying to say is it sucks and it hurts when people make videos about you or something to that degree because it's just it's sad. And
Chad, I'll let me just put an addition on that, like. With as much work as we actually do for charity, like we're not like we get super chats. We don't make a dime off of those super chats, right? We spend our time putting together Mainframe to collect donations. We didn't make a dime doing that, Chad. We try to get you guys the best guests to put out some good content and make sure that we're consistently putting something on the channel every weeknight to make sure that people have something to watch if they want to watch it. And like, we don't get paid a dime to do that. We do it because we enjoy doing it. We do it because we're trying to foster a community. And if people don't want to be a part of that community, that's cool, man. But let's just leave it at that. Like, if you don't want to play in our clubhouse, sure, but you don't need to throw rocks at it. And I think that mainly what we need to do is like just stay positive. I get that people get a little burr up their ass about different things said in different formations, but we're talking about text for the most part. We're talking about comments. We're talking about thumbs ups, thumbs downs, and it's just petty bullshit. We're all fucking adults. Let's just keep our heads held high. And you know, I ain't got an issue with anybody. Trust me, if I did, you'd know, right? So I don't think that there's any reason for us to dwell on this too much longer. Let's just try to keep it positive, man.
Yeah, no, and again, you said it best when they said you're gonna come after your fam. I consider my friends my family, and that's why and only why I wanted to address it. And That's all I got to say. Kat, it's all you.
Hi.
I mean, we accept Chris Barrett. We'll accept anybody.
What about me?
No, not you, Mark.
Shut the fuck up, Mark.
Fucking Christ, Waldo. Waldo, I liked it better when I couldn't find you. I'm gonna take.
So are we gonna play a game?
Oh,
now we're in. We're gonna play a game.
Would you like to play a game?
I mean, there's other
picks
shows
of the week.
I didn't get any. I got my books out in the car. I didn't even read them.
You got to trade.
Oh man.
I'm good, man.
You guys want to read 100 bullets and show up on Monday and hang out?
Yeah, I'll be there.
I got to let y'all know my picks of the week.
What's your pick of the week, Ledge?
Okay, so y'all don't laugh or anything. Back in New 52, I was buying a crap ton of books. I loved them. They were great. But when Rebirth came out, I was kind of down. I was like, damn it, here we go again. Another renumbering. And then, but anyway, I never read that Rebirth one shot. So I finally, got to read the Rebirth one shot, and I was only getting Blue Beetle and Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps and, just a small amount of the books, Justice League, Dark, whatnot. But I finally read that freaking Rebirth one shot, and man, there was this panel in there, and I love Pandora from Trinity of Sin, one of my favorite characters, of course, with her and Vic Sage and old Phantom Stranger in front of the Rock of Eternity or whatever. But anyways, I knew it had to be Dr. Manhattan, man. He did a freaking Rorschach just explosion move on Pandora in one panel. I was like, fuck. But anyway, and then after I read that, it was awesome.
Whoa, spoiler alert. That only came out 4 years ago.
2016, one of the best. And then I read, got on the Comixology app and read the Flash Batman Button storyline. Damn, it was so damn good, because Batman got to go to the alternate reality, the Flashpoint reality, and got to see Thomas Wayne Batman. Like, if you haven't read Flashpoint, then you're SOL, but the Flashpoint's another good read. But, dude, the Button storyline's so kick-ass. And the Button storyline, I haven't started reading this yet. I was telling Ricky Markstack today in the Discords and the Twitters, I'm going to be starting my Doomsday Clocks 1 and 2 hardcovers. Gary Frank and Jeff Johns doing what they do best, putting the asses in the seats. And man, I can't wait to read Doomsday Clock to continue that story of Dr. Manhattan. The Watchmen.
Spoiler alert, there's no payoff for the wonderfulness that is the Rebirth one shot. It's not paid off at all.
I loved it, man. I love Wally West and Flash finally reuniting from the good old days. I think
that was
they
great.
Haven't seen each other since like Infinite
I
Crisis.
cried when I read that the first time.
Yeah, I mean, because they just kept missing.
Doomsday Clock is not good.
West.
I hope you enjoy it. I really.
Well, you know what, y'all are really going to enjoy it next Monday. This coming up Monday. Not only am I going to be on Golden Guys on Tuesday, this coming up Monday, we're looking at episode. I want to say it's 50, but 50 just sounds like a good
this Monday is 100 bullets.
Ah, shit. When are we doing Crisis on Infinite Earth?
That's like, man? I don't know. Ask Carson. I don't.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want Crisis on Infinite Earth. Marv Wolfman, George Perez.
I'm currently reading it. I am like smack dab in the middle of Crisis right now. I picked up the trade, and I've got a lot of things to say about it. But we're going to see how it ends.
We got Freedom Fighters in there. They got Earth S. You got your Fawcett goodness in there, man. So a lot of great things are happening on Modern Men. A lot of great things on Golden Guys. Tell me about your 100 bullets. Maybe are you going to be over there on Modern Men, JD?
No, I'm not going to be able to make it on Monday, but I will watch it. But I think this is good for. I think if you guys have anybody on Modern Men on it, you try to get John's Comics with Kids because he's the one who told me to get this book. When I told him I could get this for a discount, and I paid like $30 for the hardcover, it goes for $50. I'm not going to lie to you. This is probably one of the better I don't get a lot of recommendations that I'm like, all right, it's okay. Like there are a lot of books I don't like that a lot of people like. It's just a fact. But this one, I went in there not salty. I went into it saying, okay, a lot of people like this book. It got good reviews. Let me give it a shot. And Brian Azzarello.
Oh, yeah, one of the best.
I can't explain it other than the art's good, the writing's good, the story is captivating, and watch Modern Men on Monday for this. This is going to be a very it's a different. It's not like other books that they've done. I don't think of anything. They've done anything with this kind of genre. Most of it's been superhero driven, right? I don't think they've ever done something that was much more. Well, did they do Criminal? Did you guys do Ed Brubaker's?
We didn't do Criminal. We've done a couple of things that are kind of off the superhero path, but not many.
Well, I like Walking Dead and stuff like that. But while I like Criminal, Ed Brubaker's Criminal Volume 1 and Volume 2, this is just as good. And I was surprised because I'm not. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of.
JD,
I didn't was the biggest fan of this, but
we got a fanboy in the chat. Just want to shout that out.
Yeah, I like that guy.
He's the guy.
He's one of JD's #1 fans.
But I just want to show, just no spoilers. I'll zoom in on it right here. The artwork is surprisingly. It wasn't even surprisingly. It's. There's a lot on each page. How do I put it? This book took longer to read than something that would be twice the size if it was superhero related. You don't have a lot of panels with blank or splash pages. You've got dialogue and dialogue and dialogue and Azriello dialogue over and over again that tell the story. Not from a narrator's point of view, so to speak. So I find it very, it's different. It's certainly not your average comic book. It's not like anything I've ever read before. So I will say it's unique in its own right. But
would that be your pick of the week?
No, my pick of the week is for anybody that wants to re-see anything or go back and get a trade. And I think I'm going to make a friend in Drew again. I went back to read Jason Aaron's work on Wolverine.
Hey, hold up.
Oh, put that up there.
What happened? Oh, here we go. Wait, put it back up. Hey, we're best friends. Let's do karate in the garage.
Man, Galvin right here, the comic book G-Spot with the $5 super chat. Got that nice aqua green qualified label. If you've seen it, $5. Let me say this real quick. I've been talking to Mr. Gretzky. We've been talking about his 8-year plan. He's got an 8-year plan for his comic book collection. You will be able to see Mr. Gretzky 9966 tomorrow night, the witching hour on the comic book G-Spot, along with his main co-host, Jeff G from the 813, the Cantonese Kid. So make sure y'all go check out Robert Galvin. You'll be glad you did.
Hey, we're best friends. Let's do karate in the garage.
Those kid and did rhymed, and the great legend comes up with them that quick.
Well, Drew, what's your opinion? I'm convinced you've read every Jason.
Oh, is that the Wolverine by Aaron?
Yep, the entire.
Yeah, Jason Aaron does a great job with Wolverine. Any Aaron Wolverine is right up there in my book.
This completes. I've now read everything Jason Aaron ever did, but this was
damn. Well, you know what? I think Kat has a pick of the week, or she's gonna pick her nose with that skeleton hand. Kat, what do you got there?
I was just playing with the skeleton.
She's playing with her bone.
Yeah. My house is everything Halloween at the moment, and I'm loving it.
I'm loving
early.
I'm loving those shades.
I do have.
Yeah,
I got something. I got something cool. When you're done.
I was talking about. Never mind,
Yeah,
Chad.
she's got a pick.
Yeah, never mind, Chad.
I guess her pick of the
Let's
week
go, Chad.
is that cat right there.
Come on, Chad.
Well, a cat goes.
No, you're on the big screen now, Chad.
I don't know the guy's name. I don't know the guy's name.
Why did you bring it up?
Why did you know then? Okay.
He interrupted you to tell you that he didn't know a guy's name. We knew you didn't know a guy's name, Chad.
That's my
The only thing we can count on you for is not knowing a guy's name.
So, I woke up to there was a question in the chat earlier why I was wearing shades. Some of you may know I have a shit ton of allergies, and I woke up this morning and I had a really severe allergic reaction, and one of my eyes is really swollen. But meds and everything, it's still a little noticeable to me. So I am wearing sunglasses so I can be hanging out
It's
with.
noticeable for me too. It's definitely there.
It's painful, but we're dealing. But my dears, we go on in the realm of nerd. So everything in my house is all Halloween right now. I've been doing all the Halloween, loving it, loving life. But this little beauty came in And we all know that I love Red Hood. He is my favorite Robin. Mm-hmm. AKA, I love all the Robins. Before we get into it, I love all the Robins. But Jason, probably the most flawed out of the Robins. I don't know. I feel for the guy. And I had to get this 2-pack because
do you think we're gonna get a Red Hood appearance in the movie?
In the Pattinson one?
Either Pattinson or Wonder Woman. I think. Well, it's Wonder Woman 84. You can't do it.
No.
I was thinking that's the character. That would be like the Marvel. You know how everybody said it's too obscure a character to do a whole thing on the Guardians.
No, I don't have Pink Eye.
I think they can do that in with Red.
We're definitely getting him on Titans.
Yeah, I mean
we're getting him right now on Titans.
He's a good character.
Is Titans coming back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's in a couple weeks, actually.
Damn, I know the boys came back
today, right?
Boys is today, yeah.
Yesterday, I think.
I'm gonna watch.
Oh, it was tonight. Midnight, right?
I don't know. I know somebody was watching it yesterday. I saw it on the socials.
I know the guy's. I still don't know the guy's name, but I was talking to a guy last night.
Okay. We were talking about that Cobra Kai last night. That's pick of the week, Chad. Cobra Kai.
Well, no, this dude's helping me design. I took pictures of my house, and he's helping design my Halloween theme this year.
That's what's up. What theme you going for?
I told him I'd use his characters, so he's gonna draw them.
Nocturnal?
Yeah,
that's cool.
I've never read it.
Doing witchy here.
Yeah, he's doing this for me right now.
Swamp Thing.
Hello.
So,
Sir Alec Holland at his finest.
One of my favorite. Is it Sir Alec? I don't think he's British. I don't think he's
Sir Alec Guinness. Sir Alec Holland.
His name's Dan Brinton.
All right, old Dan B.
But yeah, he's done a shit ton of stuff. I mean, he's an amazing artist. He's an actual artist.
Not just a hack.
He's him, Sienkiewicz, and Alex Ross are like really, really tight. So yeah, these. I
heard Lion Den's really, really loose.
I just saw Cletus Curtis in the chat.
What's up, Cletus? I don't know where Lion Den is. He was here earlier.
He asked somebody for a golden shower. That was weird.
What?
Did you see that? I
saw you had it on the screen, dummy.
I said, "What is that?"
Oh my.
But yeah, that's it. Mark, stop farting.
Yeah, Mark.
Farting.
It's not Pink Eye.
Stop, Mark.
I saw in the chat.
Dude, stand.
I miss that guy. Where is he at?
Oh my god!
I did that because I love that motherfucker so much.
He's got to be getting up for breakfast soon.
Oh god, I love that.
Let's just stay live until he's up for breakfast. Then he'll hop in the chat.
If you wake him up when he's sleeping, and like,
oh, he is not a nice person when you wake him up when he's sleeping.
No,
he is a grumpy Gus. Like Carson is like that guy is like every time he's shouting out the chat, he's just so happy to see everybody. He's got that energy. He's like he always laughs at our nonsense.
He has a tone if you wake him up.
If you wake him up, you sound like you're marked for death. It's pretty hilarious.
Hey Drew, did you have any picks of the week, or did you pick them all?
I do, man. I got a pick of the week for sure, and that's we only find them when they're dead. Boom Studios #1 from Al Ewing. It's basically a bunch of dead celestials floating out in space, and these scavengers come to in crews of autopsy ships to salvage pieces of their bodies. It's a really cool story. Starts off with the captain as a child, his parents showing him, and he's like 5 years old, the first floating dead god in space he ever saw.
Was that in Mylar?
Oh, it's always in Mylar, baby. Always in Mylar.
Good man.
Dude, the end of this book is like, he says that they're going to go find a god who's still alive. And I don't know what's going on. But there's a lot of really great characters in it. The crew reminds me a lot of like a space crew like Firefly, small family-like crew. And I think that they all kind of have their own archetypes that are going to get explored, and everybody's going to get a chance to grow throughout this story. I think Al Ewing's a good storyteller, and Simone DeMeo does the art in this book. I don't know, let's take a look at the interiors of this
interior,
book.
interior alligator. I drive a Chevy something.
What?
Like,
I don't know. where
just
he
good
was going with
spacefaring stuff.
Hey, I got an idea. I got a crazy idea.
Do
I'm
you?
here.
Those are the best.
that. No.
Usually your crazy ideas end up really cool. So better be.
Yeah,
careful.
this idea is gonna be fun. Check
Are
it
you
out.
going to go into Wendy's?
No, I'm not
No,
going
I
to
don't wanna go to
Wendy's.
Oh,
I am going
No,
to
you want him to go to Wendy's. It's the best part.
It's
I'm
the
go-
best thing ever watching him go to Wendy's.
I'm going to go ahead and put a link in the chat, and I am going to start an off air. And everybody in the chat can join the off air.
Okay.
Let me see if I can do this.
Wait, can I
Chad.
ask one? Can I say one thing? I need to know from the DC people about a new trade paperback that hit today, the Mr. Miracle. Is it out? Did it come out? It comes out this week, I think.
I didn't think it came out. I
it-
think
I
it
think
was,
it comes out early October.
This
Mr.
one,
The one
Miracle
with, like, the
paperback
purple
trade?
cover?
here we go.
this one.
We'll start this thing. I'll put this in the chat.
I'm
Put that up
pretty
again.
sure that comes out next month, hon.
Okay,
There it
next-
is.
I could be
okay, 'cause
wrong.
it's on my list.
Is
It's
that
on
the
my
Tom
list.
King,
It's a
Mr. Miracle?
recommendation
Yeah,
from,
it's the Tom King, Mitch Gerald's.
right.
Was it a
It's-
re-release?
Yeah, it's like the full edition or whatever with like a whole bunch of like making of featurettes
And
like,
the
production art
sketching
and all that.
beforehand, yeah, the sketching
Yeah.
beforehand. Oh, I'm
All
sorry,
right.
I
It's
didn't.
gonna be
show it.
gorgeous.
I didn't.
All
show
right,
it.
we
Yeah,
got
I
Robert
have a copy
Galvin.
of the cover.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go
Okay.
jump over here. End the show. Come on over. Let's do this. Galvin's
All
in
right.
there for me.
There you go. That's what
Yeah.
it looks like.
Yeah.
He
This-
talked
this-
about
I don't-
that on his Instagram today.
Yeah.
It's
I
gonna
would
be-
say just get on your
Good one.
DC app and read it digitally.
And
Everybody
also start
join.
picking up
This one-
Strange
yeah.
Adventures with Adam Strange, because that storyline's getting really good, where Adam Strange is going to be kind of exiled out of the superhero group. So make sure you are reading that. Carson is always talking about Adam Strange.
Did
But you
Chad
know
just
what?
have a stroke? He's been stroking under that table this entire show.
Dude, let's do some last minute shout outs. We know Chad shout outs, and they are, support the Hero Initiative. It helps comic book creators in need, and they're a damn fine group of people over there. JD, what you got going on this week on the Comic Con?
I got 3 fantasy football drafts this weekend, but then after that, Tuesday Golden Guys. Really looking forward to having the great legend on. It's one of my favorite things I do. It is
I
my
can't
favorite.
wait,
No
man.
offense to this show or anything else. I do like my
Best
Golden
show on Tuesday night, bar none. Drew Manchu, hot off the heels of the Drew Manchu, Jason Cantu book reviews, and co-starring our good friend Gomer. So
Yeah, man.
what you
Hey,
got?
if you guys didn't get a chance to check out the show that we did yesterday, we actually just talked new comics and like kind of the state of the industry over this past summer. And we Legend didn't stick around to see us talk DC. We talked DC for a good 30 minutes, and they threw shade at me this morning. He's like, "You didn't talk any DC on that show." I was like, "You went to bed. So what do you want from me?" We talked a little bit about everything. Empire, X of Swords coming up. We talked about death metal. What the plan is with the reboot in the DC universe, and where things are just going, man. And we had a good chat about a lot of new books that came out this week. So if you are a fan of following the stories and following what's going on with the continuity of the big two, it's a show for you, man. Go and check it out. We probably are going to do it again next week because Andy's going to be on vacation. So I plan on being the Andy fill-in guy as long as I have the ability to do so.
Well, that's freaking awesome. I know Comic Man Andy just getting done or still camping out with the fam. I think that's kick-ass. Make sure, Andy, you heat up some marshmallows for us folks and make some s'mores. And, one of the best shows you're ever going to see, there's actually 2 shows I got to mention. One, Cat Ren Figures, the best in figures, comic books, pop culture. 2, cinema figures. If you're into horror movies or any movies for that matter, this gal has everything that'll make you chatter
I have
or
a
quiver or
question.
shiver. I don't know. But you have to wait a minute because it's Cat's Ren turn.
But I have a cat related question.
Okay, yeah, ask her then. Ask her.
Why isn't it Cat Ren Cinema?
No, it has to be cinema figures because it figures to be
figures. I don't know. I thought it sounded cool.
Figures
I think it sounds cool too, but I just think that
literally what I went with.
I thought the Cat Run Cinema might you know what? I'm just an
I would have
idea
done
guy. They're not all good.
Dark Shadows Cinema.
Dark Shadows figures.
Yeah, I wish they'd make some. I'd buy them.
Cat Ren Shadows.
What do you got? Cat Ren, what do you got going on?
Oh God. Of course, I've been working nonstop. However, I'm very excited because I have a 2-day weekend coming up, which never happens.
The future's so bright. That's why you're wearing shades.
We have a Sunday and Monday off, or
you do.
Mark has to work part of Monday.
Gone too soon, man. Gone too soon.
Well, you'll get some alone time. That'll be good.
But very excited about that. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to knock out that studio finally. It's been a bitch of a project, but once that is all up and running, it should be very, very good. I'm also decorating my house for Halloween. So
that's always a good time.
You can see the palmistry artwork right over there.
I don't know if you really can.
And I'm actually thinking about changing around my Joker's covers behind me with all the Bat family. I'm thinking of changing those around a little bit, maybe making them a little spooky. I don't know. Haven't exactly decided yet.
You can always make them spooky for Halloween. You know, I want to ask this guy. Sometimes I feel so bad because I leave him out of the shout outs at the end, but man, Mark BKR, the superstar behind the bar, Cat's co-host with the most, the man behind the cam. He likes to slam it all night long. All right, sorry, that was not a rhyme. It was just thrown in there. But Mark, what do you got going on, man? You know, I gave you a damn good promo.
Girls do like comics, Cletus.
Oh my God, girls like comics. Hey man, Cletus, calm down, Cletus. We talking to Mark BKR. Mark, are you drinking anything? Are you eating anything good, man? What's going
on? So I've been working nonstop as well. Kitty got me a really good burger from the diner next door.
Double meat or just single meat?
Fire burger, so it has like jalapeno poppers on there.
Spicy moly. That sounds damn good. Damn. That's good to eat, man. Well, anyways, man, everyone, Stings in the Rafters for JD Comics, Drew Manchu, baby, Cat Ren, and the superstar Mark BR. This is the great legend.
What I had tonight was
oh God.
We were trying to end the show, Mark. Right now you got something to say. Now you got something to say. God damn it!
This is the great legend saying,
"Dude, stand